You start little, and these guys who are at school will continue without even thinking. They won't give it a second thought to be using reusable containers, or it's composting. Recycling will come second nature to them. We started using initially the containers, and then that's evolved, and we're using reusable drink bottles. We're trying to do away with as much packaging. In the long term, it's cost effective. So short term, there is an outlay, but long term, you're saving money, you're doing it for the environment. And again, it's educating the pupils as well. The students know now they have to bring them back. So, there's less waste all around, pretty much. We did away with straws. I think straws were the first thing to go. So they didn't need drink straws. And then we looked at the small drink containers that we used to have with apple juice, blackcurrant, whatever it was, changed to using the smaller drink bottles. From this to this, and the students bring them back after lunch and they get washed and reused. Absolutely. Yeah, again, the outlay is marginally high, but it pays for itself within a matter of weeks. We now use real cutlery. Children can be, sometimes trusted with real cutlery. And again, everything comes back at the end of lunch and it gets washed and reused. The dishwasher is used predominantly for the tubs, because if the tubs have greasy, oily food, then it's more economical to use the dishwasher than fill, tubs of water. The bottles are hand washed and then dried on these racks.
Instead of giving out individual sachets, we put a bottle into the tubs that go to the classrooms every day, and the kids just put a squirt on and leave them there, and then we fill them up when they come back.
So for all the baking or anything that goes in the oven, we use these silicone mats rather than baking paper. We can reuse them, wipe them down, give them a clean, and they're pretty durable, and it saves us on wasting paper.
So over the course of the year, we've been saving all our lids from our bottles and containers and things like that, just to save for their kindies and pre-primary, so that they've got stuff for crafts.
We're also a collection point for bread tags. So that's open to the whole community, and this is the drop off. They're collected to be then recycled to make seedling pots. They're all individually wrapped. And last year's year sixes, they spoke and said why. So we tried them, and nobody's complained since. So we're not having to wrap them in black. The key is being organised and keeping it simple. The more complicated the menu is, the more obstacles you're going to then encounter. So if you're offering gourmet, 5-star Michelin food, then you're probably not going to get to fit it into a container. Same with, so the one thing that we do wrap in paper is sandwiches. Maybe, next year it's another trial of, right, the sandwiches are now going to go into boxes and the boxes come back. That's just one other thing. Anything that's left over from recess will then be sold at lunchtime, and anything that's left over at lunchtime can be frozen, apart from the rice balls. The rice balls, if there are any, not often that we do have any left over, but they can be composted. With the composting, because it's a functioning school canteen, we have food waste. So eggshells, we did some apple slinkies, the apple cores, so any food waste goes in here, and also egg cartons. and that all gets composted, and the whole school are now. There's an initiative for all the classrooms when they have a crunch and sip, any waste all gets collected, and that's one thing that the children are in charge of. They, at the end of the day, will compost the waste. The other thing that we can also put in the compost, if there's no food waste in the bags, these bags can be composted. If there are any that come out of the printer that have been a little bit mangled, then I can put them in here as well. Three things I would probably recommend if your school's thinking about changing. Plan the menu wisely, so you've then got an idea of what you're actually going to be packaging or not packaging. Overestimate the amount of containers that you will actually need, because, you know, with the best will in the world, you're not going to get every single container or spoon and fork back. Yeah, definitely get the teachers and the school community, the P&C on board, because without all of that, you're not going to be able to, it won't work.